Hey, what's up? Today we're going to be taking a look at Transform Element TE-02 Beetle, released in April-May-ish timeframe of 2020. Again, ish. It's still up for pre-order at a lot of different places, but it's on sale at the Chosen Prime, so I put a link in the description to a bunch of places if you would like to purchase this toy. Emphasis on if. So inside the box here, we do get the manual and the figure in a clamshell with its accessories, and that's your standard. So that's quite nice. The instructions here are garbage, but I will get to that later on. And the figure itself comes packaged in a clamshell held together by those same type of plastic things you get on your clothes that hold the tags on. Never seen that before, but you know what? It's new. It keeps the package together. It's a little bit of a waste of plastic, but that's fine. The figure itself comes packaged with this sort of like peel on it, but it wasn't a very satisfying peel. If you bought anything tech recently and you get that nice satisfying peel when you peel the plastic off, this does not have that. You do get the gun from the film, which we will cover later. We'll cover all these accessories much later on. You get face mask, more prevalent in this time, face masks and COVID. You got the arm blade, the movie accurate one, and then this one, this random thing they just threw in there, I think. I don't remember seeing it in the movie, so I'm not sure, but it's nice. The figure itself actually looks really, really good. It's like 90% screen accurate. The proportions are a bit weird, his arms are too long, but overall it looks really nice. Emphasis on just it looks really nice. There's a lot of problems with this thing. But for a company's second attempt, this looks great. The overall detail, surface detailing on it is really nice to look at. You got the just decked out everywhere. There's a couple of discrepancies. There's two sets of taillights, for example. But overall, they do a much better job than the official version at looking like what we got in the film versus concept art. You got, like I said, the nice surface detail going on there. There's the first set of taillights, and then there's the second set of taillights. So that's a bit weird, but whatever. You do have the nice engine detailing on the midsection, which is very movie accurate, and the head sculpt itself looks really cool. The back has a little bit of kibble going on there, but I mean, that's passable. It's complicated to do these toys, but this one does the doors correctly, and I'm super happy about that. The head sculpt, as I mentioned before, is very nice. The eyes are painted in a nice baby blue. You got a nice silver for the face sculpt, and the yellow is done very well. They even did a very good job color matching the painted yellow to the plastic yellow crest, which is not done very often, so it looks really nice. The head swapping gimmick here, you just open the crest up and you pull the top of the head off, and then you put the battle mask on top, and then you close the crest, and that looks really good. It is extremely out of focus right now because I'm still getting used to my new camera, but that'll get fixed in a second. But the face sculpt itself for this battle mask looks really good. The only problem I have with it are those two side vent things aren't there in the movie, but they're there here. But at the same time, you can't really get rid of those on a toy this size. So that's completely understandable, and I give them a pass on that. What I don't give them a pass on is getting the damn thing off. It's so difficult. I figured out you have to like pull the face mask up a little bit and then push it down. Then you can pry this head crest up, because the way that it's sculpted, you can't get your thumb attached to anything to properly pry that up unless you do that. Then that comes out and you can take that face off and put the old head back on. But they just need to tweak that a little bit, maybe loosen that hinge a bit. That'll fix it. And the face mask has no storage, which is a shame. You can't put it in the little gap on his back down there. You can't stick it in here because it won't stay. That's unfortunate. The toy itself, though, is very accurate to the movie. I do quite like the design. The paint job is nice. It color matches what's on screen. The design looks great. Like I said, the proportions are a little bit meh, but this does look really cool. Here it is side by side with the first Masterpiece movie Bumblebee. I don't have the Bumblebee movie version because I don't like how that looks, but it is smaller than normal Bumblebee here, and it's supposed to be, so I'm glad they nailed that. Overall, Looks cool, does the job. I don't think it looks as cute as what you see on screen, but it's a toy. That's a bit difficult to do. Now, it does come with a bunch of accessories, and you got the 2 arm blades and the gun, and your eyes do not deceive you. They do not deceive you. The gun, this is not in the instructions, but the gun lights up, and it comes with batteries. That is rare. It comes, I don't know what batteries it uses because my screw is stripped, but it comes with batteries, which is always nice to see. Here's the actual gun up close. You can see it's got the black, the yellow, and the silver. Just like in the film. The silver part, however, should be a different color, but I'll touch more on that when I actually put the gun on him, and I'll show you. It's got an orange LED there when you press the white button at the bottom. The other accessories you get the movie accurate arm blade, which comes with Cybertronian writing on it. It's got 3 different colors: orange, gunmetal, orange. That's definitely not orange. Yellow, gunmetal, and silver. There is a bit of splotching there. But overall, I think this looks really cool. This is my favorite of the 2 blades. The second blade I don't like so much just because I don't remember it being in the film. And be careful, it is very sharp. You will cut yourself with that if you're not careful. But it has the same coloring as the other one and the same splotchy paint underneath. But again, underneath, who cares? Now, to attach the blades, you got a little tab on the side and a port on either arm, so you can attach them. Just simply plug it in and boom, you're ready to go. That's the non-movie accurate blade, at least to my knowledge. Then you can take the other blade, you can drop it, but you can take the other blade and you can do the same thing. Plug it in and boom, there you go. Blade's in place. That's the blade I display mine with. Now, the gun does require a bit more effort, and this is not in the instructions at all, which is a little annoying, but it's not that hard to figure out, so I'm not too mad about it not being in there. You gotta pose the hand like this with the fingers out and the thumb sticking at a 90-degree angle, and there are 2 tabs on the arm. You want to take the gun, there's a hole right there at the top, and you want to put the thumb in that hole. So you just slide that in, and then flip it around so that the thumb bends inside the weapon, and you want to tab it in. Now, tabbing it in, this is the hard part, because you can get the bottom tab in place, but the tab that goes into the hand is always a pain. It never wants to stay in place. You gotta really give it a lot of force, and it clicks in. They just need to make that tab a little smaller, and it would fit. But they nailed the gun look because his hand in the film transforms to the gun like this. But I wish they painted the thumb the same color as the hand so that it blended. It's a different silver. Now, for the articulation of this guy, it's plentiful, but it's hard to use. So the head's on a ball joint, so you can get some nice range of motion there. You can emote. This panel doesn't tab in, but we'll get to that later. Arms can do a full 360 degrees. The shoulder pad moves a bit, so the arms can go out perpendicular. He does have an unintentional butterfly joint, which again I'll get to later. He's got a bicep swivel, a 90-degree bend at the elbow, and the wrist can swivel. However, if it's in a full fist configuration like this, it doesn't move, so you gotta move all the fingers out of the way. So I can show you, there's the full wrist rotation, and it even hinges up and down, but that's more for the transformation. The thumb is on a hinge and a joint, and each individual finger is on 2 separate joints, 1 at each knuckle. Now the waist joint, he has one, is very limited. It's those panels on the side and the tail lights that get in the way, because when you move the legs, the waist joint's basically gone. Now the hips can move forward that far. As you can see, this panel's come undone. Again, I'll get to that later. They can move back that far. They can go out just a little bit. They can go out a fair amount, but not the full splits. You can do a thigh swivel right there, but again, the armor gets in the way. 90-degree bend-ish at the knee. The foot can go forward. It can't really go back that far, and you've got a really nice ankle pivot. So the posability is not bad. It's really good, but it's not on par with the rest of the movie masterpiece toys. Now, these problems. This does not tab in. None of that up there tabs in at all. So when you go to move the head, his entire chest moves. Really annoying. And these panels like to shift a lot on their own, so just, you gotta constantly move those back into place. The shoulders, as I mentioned, have an unintentional butterfly joint because they're supposed to tab in. there's a tab there that allows them to like snap in place, but it always comes undone. Like, it makes a solid click when you tab it in, but it just comes out so easily. I don't understand that. The hips here, the tail lights stick out a little too far and get caught underneath these panels, and then when you move the legs, it undoes the panels, which is super annoying. Now the backpack is the worst offender, because the backpack is basically what's holding the toy together at the torso. So there's this tab back here. That's big tab, but it doesn't click into place, so it just pops out very easily, and the whole toy just starts falling apart, which is super frustrating when you go to try and pose it, and it just falls to bits on you. Now these panels here, they move, but that's just a tiny gripe. That's not really a major flaw or anything. These panels, they're supposed to tab into those big squares, but they don't. This one doesn't want to stay. It just always comes undone, and it's really frustrating. The other one's fine. This one, just like, you gotta push this up all the way and sort of flex it in order for it to stay in place, because that one's fine. That one you don't have to do any extra effort. This one you do, which is really weird, but yeah, that's a bit of a problem. And these side panels will not stay in place. You breathe on them wrong, they will move. They're also very frustrating. There's a lot of... You pick up this toy and you're constantly fixing things, which is a little annoying, but again, I can give it a slight pass. It's their third figure, and it's a movie toy at that, so it's complex. But still, I wish this had a little bit more QC so they could fix those finer details. The instructions. Oh boy, the instructions. They are horrid. The pictures look very nice. I'm glad they're full color images. I love that. I don't like what Hasbro does with their weird, like, dark colors on dark colors. But they skip a lot of important steps. Like, there's steps that need to be done they just don't do. Why? Overall, the toy in robot mode looks really nice. However, looks are not the only part of this. It's got to look good, and it's got to function like it should, and it doesn't. It falls short on a lot of things because panels just don't want to stay where you tell them to stay. Now, the transformation, I hate with a passion. It is so horrible. Like, if you thought Studio Series Bumblebee was bad, you ain't seen nothing yet. This thing is awful. Nothing stays where it wants to stay. Parts push other parts away from each other. Tabs don't tab in. Pins fall out. I've had pins fall out of this toy while just trying to transform them because the holes are too big. Stuff just gets in the way. That's the constant theme with this transformation, is nothing wants to cooperate and stuff gets in the way. I had to actually take this off camera to do some parts because it was so annoying. This transformation made me break a sweat. Probably because the room I'm sitting in is very hot. It's very hot right now, but it's very tiring, and this took me an hour when I first got it to figure out how to transform it. It was just so bad. I don't know how you could fail this bad at a transformation, but it's small and they were trying to make it complex, but they could have simplified a few things to make it better, and I would have been okay with that. But yeah, the transformation's not fun, and I don't think I'll transform this again just due to those pins that fall out when you try to transform it, specifically in the chest and in the feet. Those are what you got to watch out for. Those pins will there's sliders and they slide the pins right out. It's super frustrating. The Beetle mode does look nice. It does look accurate to the 1960s-ish Beetle that Bumblebee is based off of. However, only from this angle. There's just this angle. If you flip it around, check this out. What? What is that? That just looks... That's just terrible. I don't like that. That's poo-poo. That's garbage. What is happening here? The back doesn't stay together. The side doesn't stay together. Look at the state of the back. I've tried so hard to get this to line up. I've watched other people's videos. I've sanded down some tabs and things to make it fit, and it just doesn't, and it's really annoying. I really want them to fix this. If they plan on making other movie toys in the future, hopefully they learn from the mistakes of this toy and they make it better. Here it is next to the other Masterpiece movie Bumblebee, just to get a size comparison. The Beetle's a little too tall and a little too long to be completely accurate, but if you're not a super big car buff, then it's not going to matter. It looks fine next to him. Doesn't roll very well though. The bottom scrapes very heavily on the table and doesn't let him roll. Even though he's got rubber tires, he will not roll properly. And it's really frustrating. Those knee pads, they touch the ground. They don't roll. This is the only good angle to look at it. It's unfortunate because I really wanted this vehicle mode to look good as well. The robot mode looks so well, but the vehicle mode falls short in a lot more places than the robot mode, just because it doesn't tab in and it looks like poo-poo. It looks garbage. I wish they'd fix this, but again, hopefully they learn from these on their next figure if they decide to do more movie toys, because overall this thing's actually not bad if you fix those issues. But again, those issues plague it from me saying that it's worth the $100 US. If you can get it on sale eventually, once it gets released at every single store, then I'd say pick it up for like maybe $60, but the $100, no, I don't think it's worth that. It's not worth Masterpiece Movie price if you're not going to get Masterpiece Movie quality from this figure. And especially when their Optimus Prime was done so well, I don't understand how this one fell short, but it did. So that was my look at Beetle. Hope you enjoyed it. Links are in the description for places you can buy it, and links to my social as well if you want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram. And thank you for watching.